You guys, are any of you making money online? Are any of you accepting PayPal, Cash App, Venmo um, payments for services? If so, you should pay close attention to what I'm about to say to you, okay? The IRS has changed the rules on the 1099, okay? Listen closely. According to CBS News, money made online this year, you could owe more in taxes. With 2022 drawing to a close, the IRS is alerting Americans so they can avoid a potentially nasty surprise when they pay taxes next year. Starting in 2023, more people who made money on eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, Uber, or other digital platforms will have their income reported to the Internal Revenue Service. Anyone who made more than $600 via a gig platform or who was paid that much on Venmo will receive a 1099-K form, meaning that those funds will be reported to the IRS, the agency said. So let me repeat this. Starting in 2023, people who made money on eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, Uber, or other digital platforms will have their income reported to the IRS. Anyone who made more than $600 via a gig platform or who was paid that much on Venmo will receive a 1099-K form, sorry you guys, meaning that those funds will be reported to the IRS, the agency said. Americans already receive 1099 forms if they make money as an independent contractor, if they earn interest on a bank savings account, or if they make a significant sum by selling things online. What's new is the $600 threshold, you guys. Before this year, people only received a 1099-K form if they earned at least $20,000 from online platforms and made more than 200 transactions on the platform. But now, a single transaction exceeding $600 can trigger a 1099-K reporting requirement, according to the IRS. So you guys, before you could make $20,000 and 200 transactions before any trigger was sent to the IRS. Now, 600 or more, and the IRS is triggered to you, and they will send you a 1099-K. I mean, I wonder why it's such a big change. That is huge. Millions could potentially owe taxes. Roughly 1 in 4 Americans has made money by selling something online, renting their home, or using a digital platform to take on work, according to Pew. That suggests the new IRS rule could affect millions of people. Accountants emphasize that just getting a 1099 form from the IRS doesn't necessarily mean you owe additional tax. However, the new reporting obligations could come as a shock for casual online sellers or digital platform workers who haven't treated their side gigs as a business and haven't kept track of expenses that might reduce what they owe in taxes. So usually whenever somebody is an independent contractor, whether you're doing side gig music or driving side gig, Uber or something like that, usually people who are self-employed, they keep records of like their mileage, their gas receipts. If they are eating away from home, there's strict rules about that too. If you're working on one job, then you will not get reimbursed for, I think it is your lunch or something like that. Unless you travel from that job to another job, then you can be reimbursed. It's all kinds of crazy stuff like that. But anyway, so usually people, I know musicians, they don't, and that's their side gig. They don't usually keep meticulous records of their mileage and their gas receipts and what they paid for their hotels and, food and all of that stuff. They don't usually keep very meticulous records about that. So, this is going to be a shock for so many people. And it's crazy. It went from $20,000 that it is triggered once it gets over like 601. Isn't that something, you guys? This world is getting so scary. I'm telling you. It's like there's a chokehold on us. And every time we try to take one step forward, it just grabs us around the neck and says, bring your ass right back here. You know what I mean? This extra money for some people is what gets them food, what keeps the lights on, what keeps their kids, warm, fed, clothed, in school. And now this is going to be a burden. And they may end up owing so much money that it is going to wreck their lives and the lives of their children. I think there should have been a warning earlier than now. Really, you guys. I think that is unfair to not have had a warning before now for all of these people. I'm pretty sure you guys know people who do side jobs, side gigs, musicians, people who are doing hair on the side and getting paid through, their digital apps, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Those people are going to be in for a wild ride. It's just sad that people didn't get fair warning ahead, and that way they could keep their records and show, all of their expenditures, what they kept and what they had to use to keep their little side hustle going. It's just so sad and scary. It really is. So they're warning people about just being casual sellers on digital platforms and working side gigs. And for instance, a person who delivers food for DoorDash would be eligible to deduct some of the cost of gas, car maintenance, auto loan payments, cell phone service, and the bags that keep dishes hot from their gross earnings. What should you do? If you've done gig work or sold items online, start collecting information on any costs you've incurred in the process of completing those tasks. If you're an online seller and you're buying supplies or even driving your car to pick up items or ship items out, you should keep track of those expenses. Lisa Green Lewis, a CPA at TurboTax, told CBS Money Watch earlier this year. They are deductible if they're related to your business. For instance, if you're selling designer clothes on Poshmark, note what you paid for that item in the first place. In many cases, sellers are charging less for a used item than they paid for it and shouldn't owe any taxes on the income they earn by selling it. If you have a side gig running an eBay or Etsy business, money you spend on maintaining a website, ads, or promoted posts on the platform, storage space for your goods, and shipping costs are all business-related expenses that you can deduct from your gross sales, according to tax experts. Could the law change? It's possible. Companies including Airbnb, eBay, Etsy, PayPal, and Poshmark have formed a group dubbed the Coalition for 1099-K Fairness and are lobbying Congress to relax the $600 reporting rule. A GOP member of the House wrote that the IRS last week asking for the law to be pushed back by a year, claiming that this new requirement will be confusing and unworkable. The group and lawmakers met last week to discuss loosening the law, but with just a few weeks left in the season, it's uncertain if any deal will be reached. Bloomberg tax reported. So you guys, just in case there won't be, a deal reached, just try to go back and get together everything that you need for this upcoming tax season. It's just a sad situation, like I said, because many people depend on that side hustle. How many people do you know? I know people who have Etsy stores, and they work hard every single day. They go home and they sew clothes and put them on their Etsy, or they make quilts, or they do crafts and they make extra money. And that extra money is what keeps them from being homeless. That is the truth. So there should be a little bit more fairness in all of that. What do you guys think? Are you worried about this? Do you know someone who will be affected by this new IRS rule? Let me know what you think about this in the comments, and also pass this along to everybody that you know so that we can all be in the know. All right, you guys, let's talk about it in the comments.